Today I have an MLB video for you guys. It's players that you may have forgot that played for the New York Yankees, and I've been a Yankees fan for 15, 16, maybe 17 years now, and when you go back and actually think about it, there were a lot of random Yankees over the past decade or so. I'll put a lot of names in here. I think I have 10 guys on this list. If I forgot anybody, put it in the comments. I might make a part 2 in the future for this video if you guys enjoy it, but hopefully you guys do enjoy, and let's get into it. Number 1, Ivan Pudge Rodriguez. So in the 2008 season, the Yankees, of course, did not make the playoffs, but they tried to make a push because it was the last season in the old stadium. They wanted to make the playoffs, and for the Yankees, Jorge Posada went on the DL for the first time in his 13-year career at that point, and the Yankees needed an upgrade at catcher. Now, Ivan Rodriguez was with Detroit at the time. His career there was kind of coming to an end. The Yankees flipped reliever Kyle Farnsworth, who was not a good Yankee, by the way, for Ivan Rodriguez, and Rodriguez spent August and September of 2008 with the Yankees. Now, during that time, he hit, 219, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs in 33 games. So a very underwhelming Yankees career and a short one for Pudge Rodriguez. It was the same offseason or the same trade deadline where they acquired Xavier Nady, Damaso Marte. So the Yankees were busy. They tried to make the playoffs, but that was the year the Rays were very good and the Red Sox were there as well. So the Yankees missed out on the playoffs, and Pudge Rodriguez's Yankee career, not so good, but the guy had a great 22-year Hall of Fame MLB career. Nothing to frown upon, but his time for the Yankees was not that great. Number 2. A man known as the Big Puma for the Houston Astros. It was Lance Berkman. So the Yankees did trade Mark Melancon, who ended up being a pretty good reliever for the next decade, and another player for Lance Berkman, who in 37 games for the Yankees hit .255, 1 home run and 9 RBIs. He was in Houston for 12 seasons prior. Went on to play for the Cardinals after that. He had an all-star season the year after he left the Yankees, of course. I think he literally hit like 299. He hit 30 home runs around there, around 100 RBIs. So he was back to the old Lance Berkman. Unfortunately, did not play that well for the Yankees. Now, I remember the biggest Lance Berkman memory as a Yankee was he did hit a home run in the ALDS against the Twins that year, I will say that, but the biggest memory was against the Rangers in the ALCS. He had a home run, well, we thought it was called a home run at first, but it went to replay, a home run that missed by literally this much. It was like right down the right field line, right past the foul pole. He missed a home run by this much, and some people may argue to this day that it did hit the foul pole. It was that close, but Lance Berkman spent a half a year with the Yankees, had another great year with the Cardinals afterwards, then kind of faded out, but a really nice career for Lance Berkman. Number 3, Andrew McCutchen. So during 2018, not too long ago, the Yankees acquired the former 5-time All-Star and MVP Andrew McCutchen from the Pirates. Oh no, it was from the Giants, I believe. I don't know why I said Pirates, but it's from the Giants. It was a contract year for him, and the Yankees definitely needed some outfield depth that year. During his half season with the Yankees, he played in 25 games, hit .253, 5 home runs and 10 RBIs. It was really not that bad. He did have a bad postseason, though, which is why the Yankees pretty much acquired him in 2018. Then he left for the Phillies in 2019's offseason. Now plays for Joe Girardi, a former Yankee manager, of course. So he's still 34 years old. Joe Girardi managed the Yankees for 10 years, so to see him now with him, kind of ironic, but Andrew McCutchen did have a great career in Pittsburgh, and he was okay for the Yankees in his half year here. Number 4, Kevin Youkilis. So Kevin Youkilis was a long-time Yankee killer with the Boston Red Sox, a good third baseman for them after Mike Lowell left. But Kevin Youkilis, he signed with the Yankees for 1 year, $13 million. Alex Rodriguez was, of course, the third baseman before him, and he had some injuries, I think, and some maybe steroid issues going on at that point as well. But Youkilis came to the Yankees, and he played in 28 games, hitting .219, 2 home runs, and 8 RBIs. Did not perform well. I think he got injured multiple times that year. That was his last year in the majors. He went to Japan in 2014, and he had a nice career. It was not a Hall of Fame one, but Kevin Youkilis will always be remembered by Yankee fans for being the Yankee killer and having that very odd batting stance, and I'm sure you guys can picture that in your head right now. But Youkilis, not a good Yankee. I did like the move at the time, but it did not work out, unfortunately. Number 5, Bartolo Colon. So Colon did not pitch in the 2010 MLB season, but signed with the Yankees in 2011 after coming off an injured season where he kind of sat out the whole year. So Colon was once a Cy Young winner. I think he led the league in wins when he played for the Angels 1 year in 2005. He was 38 years old at the time, and the Yankees were hoping to get one more decent year out of him, and they kind of got that. It was in 26 starts or 26 games. He went 8-10 with a 4.00 ERA and a 1.29 WHIP, which is not that great, but still, a 4 ERA is not too bad for a starter. starter that gave you 26 games. So he was only a Yankee for one season and went to Oakland after, then went to the Mets and became like a mini sensation for a while. Hit the home run against the Padres back in 2015, I believe it was. And, Big Sexy was a big thing in New York for a little bit. He had a decent Yankees, I don't want to call it a career, but a decent season for the Yankees. But he did have his best years on the Mets, it looked like. Well, at least, in the second half of his career, I should say. Number 6, Eric Hinske. So in 2009, the Yankees traded for the 2002 AL Rookie of the Year, Eric Hinske. I think he was in Toronto those days, actually, but he joined his 4th AL East team. He played for the Yankees, he played for the Blue Jays, the Red Sox, and the Rays. I think he went to the World Series with the Rays in 08. They lost to the Phillies, but the next year in 09, won a World Series with the Yankees. Now, Hinske, I don't think played in the postseason that year, but he was still a nice little, left-handed bat, DH. I think he hit some home runs for us, too. He hit 7 home runs and 98 plate appearances, where if you put that over a full year, it's a pretty good season, honestly. He didn't play too much, but when he was out there, he did his job. He was hitting home runs for us. Hinske played for the Braves and Diamondbacks after calling it a career in 2013. I think he's a coach somewhere now. I feel like I saw him once coaching first base for the Cubs. I could be wrong. I probably should have looked into it, but I'm pretty sure Eric Hinske's a coach somewhere. Number 7, Matt Holliday. This is a guy who could be a Hall of Famer, probably not, but a very good career for Matt Holliday. But he's one of those guys that played for the Rockies. He had a great career there, played for the Cardinals. He played for Oakland for like half a year. I actually forgot that when looking back at this. I think he signed in Oakland for like 1 year, then got traded to St. Louis out of nowhere. I don't know, it was weird. But he did have a fantastic April in 2017 and May. Then unfortunately had some type of bacterial disease or something like that. And his career not his career, but his season really went downhill. If you look at his first half numbers compared to his second half numbers, I'll put the graphic in here. Matt Holliday had a much better first half than second half. Now, he finished the year with like 19 home runs. It wasn't too bad, but he was 37 years old at that time. He went to Colorado to finish his career after that. Didn't really play much. Hit 2 home runs for the Rockies in 2018 before not officially retiring yet, but I think we all know by now that Matt Holliday's not coming back. But he had a decent, April, May, part of June for the Yankees before he got that unfortunate bacterial illness, whatever it was, or a bacterial infection, sorry. Number 8, Kerry Wood. So Kerry Wood, of course, is remembered for striking out 20 guys in one game in his rookie season back in 1998. There's 3 other guys who did it. I forget. It's like Max Scherzer, Roger Clemens, and I'm going to forget the last guy. But one other guy did it. 4 total, struck out 20 guys in one game. Might have been Pedro Martinez, honestly, but I don't know. You have to fact check me on that one. But Wood had a very solid career at first, his first half of his career, then faced some injuries. He went to the bullpen for the Cubs at one point in 2008. He was an All-Star that year. The All-Star game was actually at Yankee Stadium that year, the old one. So he was an All-Star there. Then Wood went to Cleveland in 2009, faced some injuries there as well. Then at the 2010 trade deadline, the Yankees traded for Kerry Wood, who was actually really good for the Yankees. He had a .69 ERA. He had over 10 Ks per 9 innings, and he had 29 innings pitched as a Yankee. So the Yankees did not pick up his option for 2011. I think he went back to the Cubs for a couple years before actually retiring, but Kerry Wood for his half a season in New York was actually really good, so that's something I forgot about. Number 9, this one hits close to home because I love this guy. He was like my favorite non-Yankee player when I was in middle school, but Troy Tulowitzki. So Tulowitzki signed a 1-year deal with the Yankees. I think that was the year that Didi Gregorius was coming back from the Tommy John surgery. The Yankees needed a guy to fill in at shortstop for about 2-3 months. Tulowitzki filled in for 2-3 days. He actually played 5 games as a Yankee before getting injured and eventually retiring that July. So it was pretty unfortunate, but Tulo did hit a home run at Yankee Stadium, which was nice to see. He grew up idolizing Derek Jeter, which is the reason he wore number 2. So that was nice to see, and Tulowitzki had a career that was, cut short due to injuries. I made a video about him about 2 years ago. If you're interested in that, go back and look at it. I'll put the link in the description. But Tulowitzki, very unfortunate, possible Hall of Fame career that was cut short. And number 10, finally, Eric Chavez. Eric Chavez is best known for winning 6 consecutive Gold Gloves from 2001 to 2006. Very impressive. He was a third baseman for the Oakland A's, left-handed hitter. Chavez signed a minor league deal with the Yankees in 2011. Once again, just like Kevin Youkilis, there was a lot of uncertainty around Alex Rodriguez and his PED suspension and things like that. So the Yankees brought in Chavez, who did last 2 seasons for the Yankees. There were some injuries in there as well, of course, but he did play 113 games in 2012, hitting 16 home runs, which was his most in 6 seasons at that point. He wasn't signed after 2012 by the Yankees, but finished out his career in Arizona the final 2 years. Didn't really do much there. And Chavez, just like Tulowitzki, could have had a Hall of Fame career. I think Chavez stayed relatively healthy the first half of his career, but I think once 2007 or 2008 hit, he kind of just started getting hurt every year, unfortunately. But Chavez, defensively, of course, and even, sometimes with the bat, had a really, really nice MLB career. Not a Hall of Famer, but a very nice career. But anyway, that'll do it. There are definitely a lot more names to do, a lot more names that, were random Yankees and guys we might have forgot about. So maybe I'll do a video in the future. I know like Brian Roberts comes to mind, Vernon Wells, even Ichiro played for the Yankees for a couple years. So yeah, definitely a lot of names on there. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Leave in the comments the guys that I forgot about, maybe guys before my time back in before 2000 or something like that. But hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you next time.